the kind of relationship you have with your partner, you should be each other's 10.
This is what I was
Do you get what I'm saying? But is that possible if like a 5 is going for a 10? I don't think so.
I don't
Well,
see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's the problem is I don't think that can happen where everyone gets their first choice, because
Facts.
No.
especially nowadays, you have 80% of women sleeping with 20% of guys. So the 5 thinks she's an 8 because she's sleeping with the 8, 9, or 10. And so when she gets married, she's going to view her husband as less. That's another issue with sleeping with a lot of guys. Did you know if you sleep with more than 5 guys, your chance of a happy marriage after 10 years, it goes from 80% to 25%.
Yeah, so that's
Why?
that.
Why?
Yeah, casual sex is
Why?
something.
Because the more men you sleep with, you lose your ability to bond with each one.
Pair bond.
Yeah, I've seen that stat, but I think I don't know if it's entirely true. It could be a little bit true, because imagine if a woman has dated 10 guys. One is tall, one is rich, one is poor, one is whatever, bald, one has a big mandingo, one doesn't, one has good sex, one doesn't. Like, she has seen all of this. So for you so those are 10 guys. For you as the 11th guy to come in and you think you're going to do the world for her and she's just going to appreciate it. Let's say one guy took her to Dubai to put her on a private jet, right? Now you're competing in her head in the past with the guy who put her on a private jet, and all you can do is a Uber X. You know, one guy took her to Ruth Chris, expensive dinner restaurant. All you can do is Applebee's. Sure, you're a good guy, but she's going to be comparing. She has been used to a certain lifestyle from all these other different guys. And for you, she's going to be comparing you that whole time. So at the end of the day, she may be like, you know what? I've been with a guy who put me on a private jet. Why am I dealing with Boogie, who has to order Uber X for us to go out? Why is Boogie taking me to Applebee's when I was dating a rich man who was taking me out to Dubai? So she's going to do the math and be like, you know what? Fuck this.
Bonding.
Yeah, it's pair bonding. So if you sleep with one guy, you're going to compare the next guy to him. If you sleep
Yeah.
with 10 guys, you compare all 10. If you sleep with 20, you compare all 20.
And guys hate being compared to other guys.
Well, they hate being, but it makes you more divorced. Like,
Yeah.
you're not likely to be divorced, but you're more likely to leave if you did that, because you're with your husband thinking about the last like 10 guys that maybe weren't as good as the one you married.
But damn.
Facts. Crickets. Crickets, they're like, oh shit. And these are the things women don't think about. They never think about these things. Because for them, it comes so natural that men want them. They always have men in their inbox, approaching them in public and things like that. So they never, ever stop to think about these things. And it's not, I guess
Are
that's
you
not their
okay?
fault.
Yeah, that's just mad. I think that's mad because like
Made you think, innit?
yeah, because wait, but mostly girls. Okay,
Speechless.
girls always go for like a relationship. So cool if they sleep with more than 10 people,
More
and
than
then they
5.
find more than 5 people, and they find someone. Are they still gonna be okay? Cool, like he's not as best as Jake. Like
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
I
think
think
that's. I don't think that.
it depends on the girl. It
Yeah.
absolutely depends on the girl.
Okay.
And it depends who she marries. Does she marry a guy that's better than all the guys she slept with, or does she feel like she's settled?
Most of
Like,
them
I'll
settle.
give you an example. If there's a guy, like for me, and I didn't realize what I was doing, right? But if there's a guy that to me is like a 9, right? And he's talking to me, I'm like, why are you talking to me? Because I just
Yeah.
immediately think that he wants like
Yeah,
sex.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm like, you're a little out of my life. I feel like you just
out of my league type thing. Yeah.
And it's because, and I didn't realize that's an innate like response to not wanting to be alpha widowed. And an alpha widow is basically when you sleep with a guy that's so high value, no one else can compare. And so every guy, so your husband might pay for it because you're sleeping with your husband wishing it was the other guy.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
And I don't know about you, but I've found that there's always girls always have one ex that they like can't get over.
Can't get over.
That they can't, that it doesn't matter who they date after, they're always thinking about that last ex. And when I was in college, I remember just thinking, wow, this is so weird. Like everyone's got that one, and that's everyone's alpha widow.
Yeah, and it's even worse. It's worse if the guy had money and was spending it on her. Because every other guy in the future coming after that guy, if he's not treating her to that kind of lifestyle, like I told you guys, if he's not putting on a private jet, if he's not taking her to expensive dinner dates, which I kind of understand why some of these women expect all men to take them to expensive dinner dates, because there could have been at least one or two guys who have done that multiple times. So they believe that's what men should do because they got a test of that kind of lifestyle. So I kind of understand why some women, if not most, expect men to spend all money on them, because there has been one or two guys in their past who was willing to spend money without asking questions. So that's the whole point. For me, it's not even just about the sex only, comparing whose sex is better, the ex-boyfriend or the new guy. It's more about, for me, it's about the money issue. Because I'm telling you guys, if you date a woman who has dated a rich guy who was spending money on her, she's always going to compare you. She's going to be like, okay, James used to do everything and used to take me shopping, but you, Boogie, like, you ain't even doing nothing. Like, sure, you buy me tacos every now and then. She's always going to be thinking and wishing you were James. Let's say James had the money spending on her, but he was an asshole. She's going to be like, okay, Boogie's a nice guy, but he's broke. Compared to James, I'll be broke because I'm not willing to spend all the money, and I don't even have the money to take her to three vacations every year.
Like, I'll give you a story. I tell this story all the time on my show. So there was a girl I went to school with. She was like the girl next door you never would have known. She slept with a guy, or she was dating a guy for like a month freshman year. Okay. And they broke up because he was kind of a player. Like, he cheated on her. Like, I'm like, a month? Like, that's so soon. Yeah, I know. Like, you couldn't make it a month anyways.
Have you break?
Anyway, yeah. So, like, fast forward 4 years later, she's dating a new guy. This man treats her like a queen. Okay. He bought her a house. She bought her a house, moves her into the house.
Where you find him? Amazon?
They're still together. They're
You
still
find him on Amazon?
yeah. No, they're still together to this day. I would say he probably wasn't as like good looking as the guy from freshman year, or had like as much of a smooth talker,
Yeah.
but like good, reliable, responsible guy. Bought her a house, moved her in, all this stuff. We're at a party, okay, and
Oh God.
yeah, I'm at a party and she's there, and the guy that bought her the house isn't coming, but he's gonna get there in like an hour, okay? And I see her, she goes into the bathroom, and I'm like, why is that? Like, where'd she go? And
Don't say her name.
and she comes, I see her come out of the bathroom with the guy from freshman
Oh,
year.
for fuck's sake.
She was sleeping with him in the bath. I don't know how long or what happened.
She was having an
I
affair.
just was like,
And he's gonna
and you
come to
never
the
would have known
party.
because she was like the girl next door. And yeah, she's like still with the other guy today.
What is?
And that's, so when I think of Alpha Widow, that's what I think of.
Was she drunk?
I don't know,
But that's not
probably. Yeah.
No.
not an excuse.
No,
Don't
no,
help yourself.
I don't like, I
No.
wasn't super close with her like that. We were just on the like, we just
Yeah.
like we're the same friends, right? But I was like, oh my God, this happened so long. This is for like, she's probably hooking up with him the whole time. And
Yeah,
so when I think of
probably.
an alpha, like that's the problem when you get a bigger and bigger body count, is like you're more likely to find a guy that like next guy can't compete with.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, man, shout out to Parley Things. Like I told you guys, if you guys ever so unfortunate to date a woman who has dated one or two rich guys who are spending money on her, because it's one thing for a guy to be rich, but he also has to be willing to spend the money. So if you guys date a woman who has been flown out, maybe she has been a private jet, you know, the guy used to send her money every month, like, it's gonna be tough for you to impress her because she has seen it all. So she's always going to be comparing you to the guy who was sending her cash up every month.